Did you know that Mega Man wasn't always called Mega Man? And we're not talking about his Japanese name Rockman either. Battle Kid, Mighty Kid, and Knuckle Kid were all potential names, and Capcom even considered including Rainbow in his name, as well as in the title of the first Mega Man game. According to an article in the 1987 October issue of Famitsu, the first Mega Man game was once titled The Battle Rainbow Rockman. It seems likely that this name was drawn from Mega Man changing colors whenever he equips a new weapon. Color actually played a large role in Mega Man's initial design. The NES color palette contains 54 useful colors and has a slightly larger selection of blues. Mega Man was designed around this limited palette as the designers wanted the most detailed sprite possible. Series developer Keiji Inafune himself said, "The blue bomber is really blue because of the Nintendo, nothing else." Another interesting part of Mega Man's creation is that Keiji Inafune, the man who is seen as the father of the franchise, didn't actually create Mega Man. The original design was created by Akira Kitamura and was later refined by Inafune. It wasn't until work began on Mega Man X that Inafune got to design his own version of Mega Man, but his vision of a new Mega Man wasn't X, it was Zero. Inafune knew this drastic change in design might not go down so well, so Zero was set as a side character instead. Inafune's dream of having Zero as the lead character did eventually see the light of day with the release of Mega Man Zero for the Game Boy Advance. Mega Man's Dr. Light and Dr. Wily's full names are Dr. Thomas Light and Dr. Albert Wily, after Thomas Edison and Albert Einstein. They even share some likenesses, although Dr. Light was apparently based on Santa Claus. What's unusual about this is that Edison is generally seen as the one on moral shaky ground after allegations of animal abuse and inventing the electric chair. Einstein was a pacifist who once said war was a disease and is seen as an upstanding man. One theory as to why the villain of the series is based on Einstein is that Einstein created the formula that led to the development of the atomic bomb. He even urged the US government to research and develop the bomb during World War II, fearing that the Nazis were also trying to develop atomic weapons. And since Japan was devastated by 2 atomic bombs at the end of World War II, it's understandable how a Japanese developer could draw parallels between a fictional scientist who unleashes havoc on the world and Albert Einstein. In the North American localization of Mega Man X5, the 8 bosses are references to the band Guns N' Roses. Interestingly, the Japanese names have nothing to do with the band, and Capcom had nothing to do with this homage. The names were changed by translator Allison Court. She made these references for her then-husband, who was a fan of Guns N' Roses. Allison had next to no knowledge of Mega Man, and just by chance happened to put a musical reference into a series already full of them. Mega Man Star Force is an action RPG for the Nintendo DS set roughly 200 years after the events of Mega Man Battle Network. Star Force has notable similarities to the Battle Network series and is seen as kind of a spiritual successor. The game's overworld is in a 2D isometric perspective, and the battles take place in a very restricted low-poly 3D environment. This is important to note, because when searching through the ROM of Mega Man Star Force, it's possible to find a range of somewhat fleshed-out 3D models and environments. Firstly, there's a set of non-playable characters, a net navi, and a human child. Though fairly unpolished, these models would be useful for a game's testing period. What's also interesting is that this net navi bears a striking resemblance to the Battle Network character Normal Navi, which doesn't appear in Star Force. There's also a 3D overworld network area from Battle Network, and even an environment that appears to be a reimagining of AC/DC Town from Battle Network. A Honda car dealership and a 7-Eleven have been added to the town, possibly a relic of an early sponsorship deal. There are also models of Mega Man and Land from the Battle Network series, with an additional Mega Buster for Mega Man. When taking all this information into account, it seems as though Star Force was originally going to be a fully 3D Mega Man Battle Network game, but for unknown reasons was reworked into an entirely new series. Mega Man games have many alterations between the English and Japanese versions, but they aren't all simple differences in translation. Oil Man, one of the robot masters from the Mega Man remake Mega Man Powered Up, was changed due to controversy surrounding his design. He was black with big peach-colored lips. This was seen as a racial stereotype of black people. His design was changed so his body was dark blue with yellow lips outside of Japan. The Mega Man comics had their own redesign, where Oil Man would cover up his face with his scarf. There's another occurrence of censorship and localizations of the Mega Man games. When Reploids are destroyed with a non-buster weapon in Japanese versions of the Mega Man Zero games, blood can be seen bursting out of them. The blood was removed from every non-Japanese version of the games, but oddly didn't affect the game's rating in Japan. All games in the series were classified as Zero All, which is comparable to the ESRB's E for Everyone rating. That's all for today, but don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on Facebook and on Twitter. Make sure you also check out diginogaming.com, where we post gaming trivia every single day. And if you like this video, check out our other videos, and if you like watching people talk over video games, you should watch Game Grumps too. Hey, I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but I can just give you good advice. This is a video right there. You should click it. Go ahead. Go on. Go on. Do it. I told you I wouldn't tell you what to do, but just go ahead and do it. Just do it. I love you.